Hey guys, welcome back. My name is Gabrielle and today I'm doing a new makeup releases video. It's late. It's coming at you a week late, but you'll be okay and I'll be okay. We will both be okay. My next new makeup releases might not be until the end of January since I normally do them at the end of the month and we're already in December. So yeah, I'm just probably gonna do it then. So this is my last one of the year. Woo. It's holiday season, so there's a lot that has come out. I feel like I have a lot of opinions. If you're interested in hearing about the new releases, then just hang out and subscribe. And we will start. We will start after I mention that I'm filming during the day. I never fucking do this. It's 2 p.m. I never do this. I've been awake since 8 a.m. which is odd. I don't normally wake up at 8 a.m. I fall asleep at 8 a.m. But I fell asleep at 3 in the morning yesterday, which is pretty early for me. And my phone rang and it woke me up and I've been up since. So, sunlight, enjoy it. You might not see it often around here. So Meltz has come out with their holiday collection of the year. Their holiday collections are pretty anticipated. You know, 2019 was Dia de los Muertos, 2020 was Beetlejuice, and now we have Amor y Mariposas. So when you compare this to the other two, I feel like it's the least ooh and ah, like because they've basically put out some bangers, even though I feel the way that I feel about the Beetlejuice collection. I've talked about it, but they basically really put on a show for those collections. And this too, I think the presentation is very nice. I think this collection is objectively pretty, but I also don't want it. Like, I don't know. This is just something that I don't need. And their palette is $70, which is the most they've ever charged for a palette before. And it's in a new format again, which I'm not really mad about. I don't really care when brands do different formats. It's just the colors, I just kind of look at them and they're just kind of fine to me. I'm not really running to buy this. I don't think I ever will run to buy this. The brushes are very pretty. I really like the brushes, the mirror's cute. Even like the eyeliners, really beautiful colors, but when the fuck am I gonna use those, right? I don't really use like eyeliner like that. The thing that has kind of bothered me about this collection. It's not really the collection itself, it's what people have been saying about it. And someone said that they hate the grief theme of this collection. And I thought that was really ignorant, like, because this is like a Day of the Dead collection. It's not as sugar skully as their literal Day of the Dead collection from 2 years ago, but it still has that theme. I believe that this collection was inspired by Laura's dog who passed away, the owner, and she loved her dog very much. And it just bothered me that somebody looked at this collection and thought it was like, ooh, oh, trauma, oh, scary, oh, spooky. Like, that's very arrogant because this is a Mexican tradition, Day of the Dead, and it's not like, oh, scary and spooky and like, there might be tears, but you know, it's not that. It's more so about like reconnecting with our loved ones, inviting them to reconnect with us. It's a very beautiful holiday. I want to make my own ofrenda next year. I feel like I say that every year, but I really do. Like, I want to make my own altar. Butterflies are believed to be your deceased loved one who is coming back to visit you just to say hello, which is why the butterfly theme is really heavy here. And yeah, I just didn't like that comment. It was literally like a random comment that I saw, but I was just like, Cheryl. You know, I just kind of felt like they were just shitting on a Mexican tradition. And I didn't like that very much at all. I also wanted to say that I'm seeing people, you know, review this palette and it kind of bothers me. Look, I'm not going to gatekeep Spanish. My Spanish is terrible. I can probably get the gist of some things. And I know some words just by like being brown and growing up in a brown neighborhood, but I can't hold a conversation in Spanish. I could probably read something, but again, just like get the gist, not like every single word. I don't care if you can't roll your R's. I don't care if you like try to say the word, but you say it kind of funny. I'm not the one to clown people for that. But it bothers me when people are like, I'm not even gonna try to say this word, because it's like, You're giving off the vibe of your culture is too hard for me to learn and I don't care to learn it. I'm just gonna speak my English instead. That's just the vibe that it gives off to me. Like, how many of us have ever been told, I'm not even gonna try to pronounce your name? Like, that's not the saving grace that you think it is. It's like, you can't be bothered, is the vibe that I get. Because it's like, if you're filming a video, you have access to a phone, you have access to a computer probably too. It doesn't take a long time to Google the pronunciation of a word. I promise you it doesn't. I don't expect a fucking essay in Spanish. I don't want an essay in Spanish from you. I just don't like that. It just leaves like a bitter taste in my mouth. And I know how some people mean it. They mean it like, oh no, it's just because I'm gonna sound stupid. And it's like, okay, so what? You don't, this is not your native tongue. Like, who's really gonna, I don't know. Anyways, pretty colors, not grief theme at all, okay? Yeah, I mainly wanted to talk about this collection to talk about what's bothering me. I'm gonna keep it going. Um, so Lunar Beauty released this face palette called the Outer Dimension Face Palette. It has like 8 shades for highlighting and contour and bronzing. And then technically there's 10 shades because there's a white and a gray. In the middle, it's not really a black, it's a gray. I don't like this. I don't like this at all. I don't think there's a very good shade range. I honestly think this is made for one person. And with having that white and that gray shade, like, oh, but you could mix the shades though. Watching a man that is as pale as me, he has a different undertone, but we're both like the same level of paleness. Watching a man like that pale kind of tells people like it's darker in the pan and this and that. It's like, have you ever bought a bronzer or a contour shade and hoped it was deeper than it appeared in the pan? The answer is no, because I've never had that problem. I have a privilege of makeup being catered to people that look like me. I don't appreciate this whole like, well, at least I did better than other brands. And it's like, that's a pretty fucking low bar though. Okay, we got Physicians Formula, we got Hourglass. A lot of these brands suck. Don't tell me that you think you really ate here because you did better than the bare minimum. Okay, I don't like that. I just don't like his attitude about this at all. The packaging is fucking ugly, and this doesn't make sense. And also with the numerous shades, it doesn't make sense because you can't tell me this is for makeup artists. Man, Lunar Beauty is not a pro MUA brand. And I don't mean that in the sense of the quality, I mean that and this is not what really pro MUAs go to. You know, they go to MAC, they go to RCMA, they go to Makeup Forever. Lunar Beauty is not that. Lunar Beauty is more for makeup enthusiasts. And again, I have products from them and I love them, but this is a really bad release. I don't like this at all. And it's like, I can see through Manny when he says things like, it just sucks getting criticism on something you worked really, really, really hard on. And I'm like, you're trying, you sound pitiful, you know? And it's like, you could work hard on something and it still isn't good. I'm done. There's lipsticks and brushes. Okay, whatever. When I told Danny that Jacqueline was gonna have a jewelry brand, the first thing he said was, oh, is it gonna turn your skin green? And spoiler, it has. Somebody on Twitter said that they got her earrings and it's turning her ears green and her neck. It's like the earring is touching her neck. It's like, I don't want to sound like a bitch, but I'm gonna sound like a bitch. Why do you keep giving her money? She's a scammer. She's a con artist at this point. Okay, are we surprised when she releases a product and it's fucking doing weird shit to our bodies? Like, just don't. And I believe that person on Twitter got the everyday. There's an everyday hoop and a mini. I'm gonna assume it was the mini. But they paid at least $50 for jewelry that turned your skin green. And it's just like, what do you want us to say? What do you think we're going to say? Yeah, don't buy Jacqueline Roxanne jewelry because it sucks. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But for real, if it's turning your skin green, it's not good. It's cheap. Okay, I've already talked about this palette a little bit, but here is me like actually talking about it. The Ace Beauté Tropical Vibes. Of course I like this. Of course I want it. I haven't tried to buy it because I asked for it for Christmas, and I'm I'm not sure if I'm gonna get it because I know that it's sold out. So you know, like it's fine. I can't control that. But of course, I want this. Like this is beautiful, and this is why I was clocking myself in my last video about wanting it because I'm like, do I have these colors? You know, but green is just that girl for me. Green is just like, oh wow, this is kind of like Melt 420 vibes, but probably was a better formula because you know I don't have Melt 420, but I've heard that it's really bad quality. So Ace Beauté reformulated. Their new formula is really, really good. It is better than their old one. So yeah. And the shimmers in here look nice too, because I didn't really like their shimmers. This, it's pretty. It is so pretty. And some people that have both palettes were swatching them in videos, and I do think that a lot of those shades are duplicate shades. So I think that it works out for me because I do like 420. I remember when it came out, a lot of people thought it was Gemini Part 2, and the more I look at it, the more I'm like, no, this is not Gemini Part 2. Like, there are greens in both palettes, but they are different palettes. So yes, I would like to have this at some point in time. Shantikai released this highlighter and an eyeshadow and a blush. I actually don't know if this is like their holiday collection or something. It's limited edition, but I don't know if they mean the packaging is limited edition. I'm not really sure. The packaging is beautiful. I do want to try Shantikai. I want to try their blushes and maybe their lip products. But Shantikai is kind of one of those brands where I am kind of curious about. I want to try their powder. I'm not paying full price. Okay, their Black Friday sale was 25% off. But I know that they have a birthday sale that's 30. When your brand is that fucking expensive, I'm taking the highest discount I can get. So I would buy their powder, but I wouldn't pay full price. Even then, I'd probably be paying 50 when it's on sale, which is still like a lot. But I'm curious. I'm curious. I'm caving, and I want to try it. You know, and I don't need the flower packaging. Like, again, I'm saving, I want to save as much as I can. The flower packaging is more money. As far as these products, I mean, I don't know if I would get this shade of highlighter. I mean, at this price, no. It's $110. And I personally think, are we ill? The blush and the eyeshadow are the same price. They're both $75, which is odd. And $75 for one eyeshadow is like today. I used the U Beauty palette. This palette is like 70 something US, and I was quaking at purchasing this, which is a palette with multiple shades. Okay, one eyeshadow that's $75, and their shadows, they look nice, but I don't really know. No, 75 is just way too much, but the packaging is very pretty. Yeah, I think for this color of highlighter, I think I would want something that has a little more color because it's basically just white. Wait, it's a balm? So it's sure. Right. Lancome released this Emily in Paris collab. I know Emily in Paris is a movie. Oh no, it's not. It's a show. I've heard it's bad, so I'm just gonna assume it's bad. But Lancome, you know, Lancome Paris collaborated with Emily in Paris. And this collection made me realize Lancome's eyeshadows make no noise. Have we ever heard of somebody saying, you guys, this Lancome palette, like she is that girl? Like, no. No, you know, and this color story, it's pretty dusty, you know, it's pretty lackluster. I feel like Lancome, they do well with their complexion products. Like my mom, Lancome foundation is like the only foundation she'll use, which is kind of how I got into Lancome foundation back in the day. But like no one talks about their blushes. Their mascaras make noise. I know a lot of people like Monsieur Big. But what else do we like from Lancome? You know, obviously they're not cruelty free, but like if you buy those kinds of brands anyway, then it's like what's tea? It's like I almost feel bad. I almost feel bad. I don't think Lancome is gonna go out of business. Well, I probably would have said the same about Becca a year ago, to be honest. So there's really no telling. You know what? Speaking of out of business, Tafty Beauty closed down. Danny showed this to me. Deadass. Like he like saw it on Reddit. He was just looking through the popular page on Reddit and he saw this. I think he knows who Tati is. Hey Danny.
Yeah.
When you showed me about Tati Beauty, did you remember who Tati was?
Yes. I think. Why?
No, because I'm talking about Tati Beauty, and you're the one that told me she closed down.
Oh yeah. Yes, I forgot how I saw it.
On Reddit.
Oh right. Because it appeared on the subreddit. Beauty something.
Yeah, you follow Beauty Guru Chatter.
Yeah, I do.
Well, there you go. Danny sent it to me. When he showed this to me, I was like, whoa. But then I was also kind of like, why am I shocked? You know, she released 2 things, and I believe she came out with the Blendiful early 2020, I believe, and then the Textured Neutrals 2019. I think it shocked me because we don't really see influencer brands close down. We've seen a celebrity brand close down. Like Ashley Tisdale had a brand, and when I first heard of it was when it closed. So I felt kind of bad. I was like, oh, like Ashley Tisdale. Influencer brands, I feel like they stay in business. Valkyrie's skincare brand, I don't think it exists anymore. I really hope Trisha Paytas' skincare brand doesn't exist anymore. But those were more so immediate, and this took a couple years. And I know she had a lawsuit, which I don't want to talk about because I don't know anything about law. But I don't know if that's what led to her closing down. And like she's posting on YouTube, you know, so I'm kind of surprised that she's not continuing on with her brand. So I had the Blendiful, I lost it. It was fine. Like I still use my sponge. I'm like holding on to it because lately I've been needing to play with things while I talk. But yeah, like I've just used my sponge or a brush, and the Blendiful, like it worked. But I feel like it was just so hyped, really by her. It was so hyped, but it wasn't a bad product. I heard that the Textured Neutrals palette was good. I don't have it, but I heard it was good. I don't really know what to say. Like, I don't say congrats. I don't want to say sorry because I feel like that sounds pitiful. I hope whatever she does embark on next, if anything at all, if she's just gonna do videos or what, I hope it works out for her. I don't really dislike Tati. I'm just indifferent about her. We all know about Dramageddon, but I'm just indifferent. You know, I don't wish any ill will on her. I Heart Revolution is collaborating with e.l.f. This would be way more iconic if e.l.f. collaborated with e.l.f. Like, I almost wish that that happened. I've never seen e.l.f. I don't know, like, here's the thing. I really don't want to sound pretentious, because I don't like pretentious people, but is e.l.f. funny? Like, would it be funny to me watching it for the first time? Because, I don't know, I just, it didn't seem funny to me. Like Step Brothers. I know Step Brothers is a completely different movie from e.l.f., but like Will Ferrell. I don't think Step Brothers is funny. I think it's very little boy humor, like just sucking dick jokes all the time, you know? And I know e.l.f. is not that at all, but just, yeah. Some of the things Will Ferrell are in are just not for me. I mean, he can make me laugh, like, but you know, some of the things that he's in are just not really for me. So I don't know. I dropped my sponge. I don't know anything about the references. I've heard that people appreciate the syrup bottle. I don't really know what that means, but a syrup bottle that's like a bubble bath. I think it's a bubble bath. I think the palette's too big. This is I Heart Revolution, not Makeup Revolution, but like really, it's all the same. I kind of wish that they just did a smaller e.l.f. palette. Like, I think that that would be cute for those people that like e.l.f. Wait, is the palette called Oh My God? Smiling's my favorite lip care duo. Narwhal brush set. What does it mean? Need a Hug body butter. That's kind of a cute name for a body butter. Even though I don't like hugs. Yeah, I guess this collection is kind of funny to me because it just makes me think of Will Ferrell wearing this makeup. You know, and obviously makeup brands, they're going to collab with anything they can get their hands on. So I guess that's why I think e.l.f. is a weird choice, because when I think of e.l.f., I think of a straight cis man. I also have already kind of mentioned this, but this is me kind of going in depth. Ariana Grande came out with her beauty line, which is Rem Beauty. I don't like it. I don't like this at all. And I know I'm probably just saying the same things that everybody else is saying. The makeup looks like it's for children. It looks like it's cheap quality. Like, nothing about it really speaks to me. I can't top what Teresa is Dead said in her video, that this looks like what people thought the future looked like in the 90s. And I can't top that. I can't top that. Like, that is what this looks like. I don't like when space themes are like cheapy silver. Like, I kind of expect for a more reflective silver, and honestly a little, like, just a little more luxurious, just futuristic, right? And this is just silver, like trash can. Our expectations kind of went down the drain once we learned that Rem Beauty was owned by Pharma Brands, which is owned by Morphe, or they own Morphe, they're not owned by Morphe. But I was kind of trying to be optimistic. I love Ariana Grande, like, some of her songs are pop perfection, but this is just not doing it for me. And the little single compact things, a lot of people thought those were eyeshadows when this came out, but they're highlighters. And sure, I could get down with the funky color highlighter, and I love how deep they go actually, but this just doesn't seem like the brand for me, you know? I know she has a pretty young demographic. I mean, some older people obviously too, but a lot of her fans are young, so maybe this could be good for them. Came out right around the holiday season, so their parents are probably not going to break their bank buying some things for them. Yeah, it's just not. I'm kind of sad, you know, because it's like when a brand launches and I don't like their first release, it just kind of is like, this probably isn't going to be a brand that I'm going to watch out for then. You know, I don't know. I don't know why I think that's sad. You know what? Okay, so Tarte is coming out with a Bloom collection. I hate I hate this palette. It's just, I've never owned Tarte eyeshadows because, to be honest, their palettes have never looked pretty to me. Their palettes have never interested me. I feel like maybe the palette that interested me back in the day was the Graveyard Girl palette, which was years ago, but I'm pretty sure that palette's discontinued and I don't really care to try it anymore. I didn't even know who Graveyard Girl was when I saw that palette. I just thought it was pretty. But this is just, I don't like it. It's just a bunch of nothing. They have a blush, the Amazonian clay blush. The Amazonian clay blush everybody has tried because it was a birthday gift in like 2016 maybe. I remember using it. Like, it's okay, but it's not really, I don't have it anymore. Yeah, it's screaming Susan. Like, I don't know why, it's just giving Susan. House Labs came out with a Casa Gaga Italian Glam collection. This collection is better than the ones that they've been doing. It's still very easy for me to pass up. I think it kind of just looks more exciting than it is because of how boring the brand is. It's like when you've been eating crumbs all your life and then you eat a slice of bread and you're like, this is the best food I've ever had. That's kind of what this feels like. You know, the highlighter's a nice color, fine. Even the blushes are like nice colors. But the thing is like, I'm just not rushing to buy it. You know, I'd be curious to see if they're good because I really don't know if House Labs things are good. Except for their eyeliners. I know people like their eyeliners a lot, but again, I don't really wear eyeliners, so the hell am I going to buy those for? I hope people like it. There's also lip glosses and lipsticks and more eyeliner. Oh, limited edition packaging. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's nice. And I've never said that about House Labs before, so. Harry Styles. He's so fine. Harry Styles came out with his own brand called Pleasing. I think it's cool. I think this is very cool. Like, I know some people don't really like the jars, but I like the jars. Like, I think I kind of like how funky they are because they're not overly funky. Like, you could still like kind of find somewhere to put them, but they're still like unique. It's giving brand identity. Is that the word? Like, right off the gate. I really like that. I even really like the campaign that they did, like the different kinds of hands of different skin tones, mature hands. I love that they did mature hands because you really never see that. Even hands with like freckles. I just love it because, like, when we think of nail polish, at least I didn't really think of this for a while, that nail polish looks different on different skin tones because, I mean, Again, I'm not really in the nail polish community. It's important to see. This kind of makes me excited for the brand. Like, it's expensive nail polish. I consider this luxury because I know there's brands like Cert Colors. There's another brand. Wow, I forgot the name, but there's like a couple. Oh, Loud Lacquer. Yeah, those nail polishes are a little more expensive, and these are like 20 bucks each, or you get all of them for 65, which is a pretty good deal if you wanted all of them. I like this. I really like this. I really like what he's doing, and it's not just because I think he's really fine. It's just because, like, it's cool. I don't know. He is also coming out with skincare, which is interesting. It's like a little pearl thing. And he's also coming out with letters, which I love. Little letters to put on your fingers. That's really cool. I just like this. You know what? When was this announced? Like yesterday? Yeah, this was announced yesterday. So another, I guess, nail polish brand is from Machine Gun Kelly. See, do I think Machine Gun Kelly is very cringy? Yeah. I do. I mean, I like that he's not as scared to express femininity, but that's about it. Like, his personality just seems no to me personally.
Someone just told me you had a little scuffle with Conor McGregor on the carpet. What happened? Okay, thank you.
You know, something about this, I don't know. You know, it's weird because it's literally like Harry Styles is doing the same kind of brand, and I kind of just like Harry Styles' brand more. It's funny because Machine Gun Kelly is coming out with more colors. His eyeshadows, not eyeshadows, his nail polishes are kind of expensive too. They're $18. Of course, he has one called Mary Jane. I am weed headers. I don't know. Like, I still appreciate Harry's campaigning more with hands. Yeah, I just don't. Yeah, it's like, I know Little Yachty came out with a nail polish brand. And I thought that was cool. I don't really know much about Lil Yachty, but I was just like, oh, hey, like, it's hard because it's like, you want to believe that men, again, are just getting more in touch with their feminine side and embracing it more. But it's also kind of hard because sometimes you feel like they're just trying to capitalize off of being feminine because they know that we would probably be like, oh yeah, hell yeah, straight man selling like beauty things, like cool, let's go. Or I think he's straight. I don't know. I would rather get pleasing than, what is this brand called? Undone Lacquer? Yes. Fenty's coming out with liquid highlighters, which this is very smart. This is very, very smart for her to jump on this train because liquid highlighters are kind of getting a little more popular. I have a couple of her highlighters and I do think that they're nice. I think that they go on the skin pretty smoothly. So I do wonder how these perform. I just don't think I'm going to be the one to find out if I see them on somebody's skin and I go, yeah, that's nice. But for now, I'm just kind of watching it, but it's just like, Fenty is always on trend. They are always on trend. Vizier came out with these quads called Petites Fours. And there's 4 different variations. And I hate that I like these. I hate it because it's like they're so simple. And I'm over here like, ooh, yeah. But I think I just want to try Vizier. Like, I am curious to try them. Ever since they've like kind of upped their packaging from that plastic dollar store shit, I just am more intrigued because I'm like, you're charging $80 for what? These smaller palettes, like these mini palettes, they're a little more reasonably priced. I want to try them. It's interesting because these swatches kind of make the shadows look a little more interesting. But I've also heard that in person, Vizier's eyeshadows are notorious for swatching terribly. So, I mean, obviously they're trying to sell it to you here, right? So they're trying to like give you full opacity. I like the green. Of course I like the fucking green one, but like, I don't know, it's just cute. I think it would be a cute little introduction to Vizier, especially since there's only 1 matte and 3 shimmers. I don't know if I'm gonna buy it personally, at least not now. I'm definitely not gonna buy it now, but it's cute. Davina came out with some new singles. These might be sold out by now because they launched them for Black Friday. And Davina, you know, they're getting things on their race stock is a lot. It's a lot to process. Like, you really have to be on it. You really have to set your alarm. I love Davina's eyeshadows, it was worth it. They came out with some new shades, and these look so pretty. Again, they're probably sold out. I wasn't really like checking for them, but they just look really nice, especially that middle one. Like, you already know that middle one's calling to me. When I buy singles from a brand, I picked a few that call to me, and then I don't really buy from them again unless maybe there's a few more that I want, but that's kind of rare. I don't really want to place an order from a brand to get one single eyeshadow. So like maybe at some point in time I would get that middle one. I don't know what it's called. I wouldn't place an order just for that. Maybe if I like browse through their site, or they come out with more shades that I want, then maybe I would place an order. I would also have to be in the market for that. When I did place my order from them, when they restocked in June, I was, you know, more in the market. Really wanted to try Davina and their eyeshadows, and their eyeshadows are like $8. Their multi-chromes are not $8, but just like their normal special shimmers, they're $8, and they're beautiful. They're so beautiful. I just love them. Alamar is collaborating with Encanto, the new Disney movie. And I don't know what Encanto is supposed to be about besides like Latinx characters. So I don't really know much about like the theming here, but the color story of this palette is gorgeous. It basically is like a garden fairy kind of vibe, and I wonder if this movie is about fruit. I really don't know what it's about. I don't usually keep up to date with Disney like that, but this is cute. Even like the kind of orangey blush is really cute to me. They also have highlighters and glosses and liners and lip liners, so there's a lot in this collection. But yeah, the things that were calling to me was the palette and the blush. I've never tried Alamar's eyeshadows, so I can't really speak on that, or their blushes. But their blushes do look pretty. Their blushes do look very pretty. So I like this. This is like kind of one of the few Disney collabs where I'm like, no, I like this a lot. And with Alamar being a Latinx owned brand, it just works out well too. So this is a really pretty collection. I like it. So Oreck, my girl Oreck, has a new launch. They're launching 2 more shades of their Smoke Reflect in Disrupt and Entice. These are pretty. Again, I just don't know if I would use these. I would certainly try. I just don't know if I would buy it for myself, because yeah, I don't know if I would like use them, because when I look for an eyeshadow to use, I look for something that's in a palette, either pre-made or magnetic. But these colors are very pretty, especially the green. But like, I love how deep it is and dark. Again, I still stand by the fact that Smoke Reflex from Oreck are really good Christmas gifts, really good stocking stuffers. I think even like the Victoria Beckham lid lusters, even a Colourpop Super Shock, you know, just really pretty, reflective, one and done shadows. I think those are really great to give to somebody, whether they like more simple makeup or not. I think they would still appreciate it either way. I love the white packaging. Like with the white limited edition packaging, I don't know if these shades are limited edition. No, I think just the packaging is. With the white packaging, the green shade, and the more cranberry shade, this is very Christmas without having like Christmas trees and things like that. Like, it's really, really well done. I like it. And yeah, I am curious to see how the Smoke Reflex perform, but just, yeah, I mean, I've already said. Well, speaking of Christmas, Colourpop is collaborating with Rudolph. I do think that the palette's kind of bland. I do think that it's kind of just muted colors with like a green. I really like the hair clips. I really like the hair clips. They're very cute. Like, even when they did their Powerpuff Girls collab, I almost wanted the Buttercup clips, but I was like, if they didn't say Colourpop, I would get them because I'm petty. But these are just cute little like reindeer. It's cute. But I mean, that's really the only thing in this collection that intrigues to me. I appreciate the like red lipsticks and things like that. I could see why people like this collection, but I don't know. It just doesn't really do anything for me. It's just kind of an easy pass. By Rita is coming out with this palette. It's called the Fête Noire. I tried. It's a 5-pan palette with basically just like really grungy black kind of silver, but they're not like silver, just like deep charcoal almost. They're all shimmers. This is pretty. It's a lot. It's $67 for 5 shades. But I love the packaging, and I just love how deep these shades are. Like, this is like perfect for that grungy person. This is very like glam rock aesthetic and I really like it. I don't know if Byredo's makeup is cruelty free, but I don't think it is. But it's pretty. I hate it. I hate that I think it's pretty. And it is, you know, also very expensive. I'm jealous. I'm jealous of people that do buy this. Dandelions Co. came out with this palette called the Snow Spell palette, which is basically just a wintry themed palette. I like this. I really love the color stories that Dandelions Co. does here. And I believe with all their palettes, you could pop out all the singles. They make that little space. So I think that that's a cute touch. This is just very interesting. Like, you have the green and the reds that are a little more Christmas, but then you have some really cool tones, airy blues, and I just like it. I like how smoky this is. This is just very wintry to me. And I think that you could still get use out of this palette year round. You know, again, I kind of want to try Dandelions Co. I find that when I look for brands that have single eyeshadows and I try them, I more so do it for their shimmers because I'm kind of just like, oh, I could find mattes anywhere. But I really like the colors that Dandelions does. I mean, maybe I could just get a palette that's already pre-made, but this is just really interesting. Like, they always have really good color stories. Pretty underrated. Like, Hipdot is collaborating with Rugrats from a Rugrats Hanukkah episode. So it's basically a Hanukkah themed collection, and it's cute. It's not really like something that I would get. And again, I don't know if Hipdot's formula is good. This is a palette, the face masks, which are Chucky and Angelica's faces. So have fun with that. You could probably scare somebody with those, like just walk up to somebody in your house with wearing that. There's also 2 glosses. I think this is cute, and I really like the Hanukkah theme because holiday collections usually revolve around Christmas. We really don't see anything for Hanukkah or really any other holiday like Kwanzaa or anything. So I appreciate that there is a Hanukkah collection, and Jewish people are also saying that they're really happy about this too, which is good. The color story I'm not really too mad at, but there looks like, I don't know if that's a glitter or a flaky shadow, but I kind of don't like it. I don't know. I think it's a cute collection overall. And it's better than the one that was in Walmart. I don't even know what brand that was, but it was just like with the weird faces. This is much better than that. And you know, Rugrats deserves better. Charlotte Tilbury is coming out with a new foundation, the Beautiful Skin Foundation. Medium coverage, instant glow, skin looks radiant, plump, and smooth in 30 shades. I kind of wonder if this is supposed to be like, what is that foundation called? Like the Light Wonder? She has a foundation that's lighter coverage. I forgot what it's called. But that foundation doesn't really have a lot of shades. This one that's coming out is supposed to come out in 30 shades. So I'm kind of hoping that this is like the lighter, I mean, it's more medium coverage. I kind of was interested in the lighter coverage one, but seeing that this one has 30 shades, I think I'm more inclined to try this one. Because I know a lot of people love her Flawless Filter Hollywood thing foundation, but that foundation's full coverage, and I'm not anti full coverage, but I have full coverage foundations. If I'm gonna buy a foundation, I want it to be more light to medium. And I don't know, the claims of this look nice. The packaging looks really nice. I really hope it's not a fucking foamy tip thing, because I know she loves that, and I personally don't like that. I think it's cheap, but I'm curious. I'm very curious to try this out. I wonder how much it'll cost. It doesn't say how much it'll cost, just that it'll be available on January 5th. There's really not much to say about a foundation. I want to talk about this because I recently talked about the Supreme Nudes by Artist Couture and how I like it, but I can't bring myself to buy it. There's a new, or like a mini version, I should say, the Supreme Nudes, the Quickie palette. I kind of like it. Like, with it being smaller, I love the color of the packaging too. It's really pretty. With it being smaller, it's kind of easier for me to digest it. Not that the other one was huge, it really wasn't, but I don't know. It's something about this one just having 8 shades. It's easier to kind of gather my thoughts. The colors look a little deeper in swatch. It does kind of annoy me when the only swatches you see are on light skin tones, but the colors look a little deeper in the swatches. I don't know, I like this. I like how deep it is, which again, I think I would probably buy the Supreme Nudes if it was a little bit deeper, a little bit smokier, and this one is. It's nice. It's really nice. It's just one of those things where I'm like, oh, I don't know. I don't know yet. Like, I'm looking at it, I see her, she sees me. but I'm just not like gonna be out here. Oh, it launched December 3rd, so it's already out. But yeah, I just don't know if I'm gonna be like out here like on the site like, oh my god, let me get it, you know. But it is very pretty. It's very pretty. Natasha Denona came out with another face palette, the Glam Face and Eye palette. And I believe this is the first time she's incorporated eyeshadows with her face palettes. I've said before that I don't like when eyeshadow palettes have face products in them, but I kind of see this as more of a face palette with eyeshadows in them. Like the face products were thought of first and then the eyeshadows. And there's a light version and a dark version, $59. The blush is a cream blush, and then a highlighter, powder highlighter. When I first saw this, I just scrolled, but I like it. I like it. Like, I want it, and it's like, sure, it's probably boring at first glance, but I don't know, man. The shimmers look nice. I really want to try the cream blush and the highlighter. I think for me, I'm realizing that I do in fact travel. Like I don't like go flying anywhere, and I only go from here to Chicago. But I'm still like packing things up. I'm still like transporting. I'm still commuting, and I'm still like kind of worried about my makeup breaking. And I think that if I take, you know, a palette like this, it would just be a little bit easier for me. So I think that this would be useful for me, like as far as traveling, but it's pretty. It is pretty, and I know that Sephora is having another sale. I don't think I'm going to pick this up during the sale, but I don't even know if it would be discounted because I don't think it was discounted from the VIB sale that just happened. It was too new, but it's nice. I'm gonna end this off with this Kristen Dominique or Dominique Cosmetics launch. She came out with the Unconditional palette, which is 6 shades with a pressed glitter. This is similar to the format of her like Boss Babe MLM palette. I feel like this one, it kind of gives the same vibes because she's kind of using COVID and like being separated from family as a marketing ploy. I don't know, I kind of just feel like I don't like that as like a marketing ploy. She explains that that's why there's these shade names here, including like the name of her son, and how she wanted to create something that represents the love she feels for her family and her friends, and because she couldn't see them. I kind of just feel like you could have left that in the drafts. I don't know if it's just me, but something about that just doesn't really feel right. It's not like the fucking worst thing she could ever do, but I just don't like it when brands try to pull on our heartstrings like a little too much. You know, for some of us, COVID was a lot worse than just not seeing your family. Some of us have had to deal with death. So I guess I just don't want to be reminded of COVID and reminded of lockdown from my makeup. And it's not like these shades are named like quarantine. Imagine, like the song Imagine, that whole trend, we're literally living in hell. But, you know, okay. So that is my new makeup releases, which is late, but it's fine. Let me know what you thought of the new releases. I feel like I had some pretty strong feelings this time around, but I don't know. I'm tired of influencers acting like they ate and they did that with like not very good shade ranges because it's better than what other brands do. I'm tired of them thinking that they made a point when they really didn't. Tell me how your Thanksgiving was, since the last time I posted was before Thanksgiving. How did it go? But yeah, I think that's it. I recorded during the day and the sun is still out and it's weird. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Gabrielle rizz-uh, and thank you so much for watching as well. You've been a lovely audience, and I'll talk to you later.